make this shit up according to Kevin Samuel. He's so right, man. Just give him enough rope. No,
Man,
no,
shit.
no pun intended.
You know,
oh boy, we live up to it, boy. We just live up to that shit.
Who is we? we don't live up to that.
Wait. We part of the Black Clan now.
Look, that's that French Indian shit. We what?
man, you know, you know it's crazy when you start talking before you even play the clip because
that's
we already
fucking
seen
hilarious.
It. Yeah, like
hilarious, I tell you, boy. Just enough rope, man. You gotta love Tyler Perry, though. You gotta love him, man. You got to love Tyler Perry. He knows how to capitalize on. Woo!
He knows how to capitalize.
Yeah. We're gonna go and support that film by going to see it. We're gonna, just like the Medias, we're gonna go and support that shit. There'll be a part 2 to that soon.
Yo, right. It's you know, I think we should take it as a chance to just reflect and analyze certain stuff, and that's what I want to make it about. But it's gonna be some humor involved in this. There ain't no doubt about it. You know what I'm saying? This this film, I watched it in its entirety because Kavi told me to basically go submit myself to the same torture that he already endured. This man called me and said, Vic, you need to watch this film. And he was busy when he said it because he was in the middle of doing a couple of other things. And I could tell he was like, real quick, hey, man, you need to watch this film, you know? And I saw him talk about the first 8 minutes. Then I started seeing other clips from other people, started talking about the first 7 to 8 minutes of the film as well. And the film in question that we talked about is Tyler Perry's Divorce in Black. And for those of you tuning in, welcome to Code Talk, the Solutions Only evening show. I'm your host, Victor Vincent, Mr. AKA Accountable Masculinity, and I have to the bottom of the screen, Mr. Antoine,
the other artist.
Yeah, the other artist, Antoine, the other artist. You know, who needs no introduction, but I'm giving him one anyway. You know what I'm saying? And then as a special guest that I keep trying to get on this broadcast on a weekly basis, none other than Kavi, Mr. Big Show. And as you see in quotations, I'm just saying,
what's going on, man? Y'all doing all right tonight?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Since you are the agitator for the evening, you know what I'm saying? I will just be standing by, watching the conversation go. I will provide my input as I see fit from my angle, because, you know, I'm only focused on 5 things. You know what I'm saying? The 5 laws of accountable masculinity. That's my lane. That's where I stay. I don't try to take anybody's opinion away from them or none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I just want to have a discussion that most people know we need to have. And shout out to the Uncle Junior Network, who's watching right now. You know what I'm saying? My man Garfield. Hey, I'm getting to it. I'm gonna get to the
What's going on, Garfield? What's going on with you, bro?
Shout out to all of our viewers on YouTube, and to the people that follow us on Facebook individually. Shout out to the people that follow my feed, my timeline. You guys are really, really great. I also want to take time to shout out, you know, saying my sponsor real quick. Hang on before we get going, because I want to get all the pleasantries and the formalities out of the way as we see fit. This broadcast of Code Talk is brought to you on behalf of State Farm and Leah McGee. You see www.mcgeeforme.com. Hit her up, talk to her about how to expand the wealth in your family and how to leverage insurance to take care of your legacy, protect your kids, and all of that good stuff. Life insurance is a big deal, and nobody else is more prepared to set you up for success than Leah McGee. Again, that's www.mcgeeforme.com. You see the phone number. If you missed it, play this broadcast back and you'll get it again. Let's get on with it. So I'm going to play the clip.
Go ahead.
I'm going to play the clip that I'm presenting to you what was presented to me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and off top too. Hey, by the time we end this broadcast and you say, well, what's this accountable masculinity stuff? Here it is right here. You know, this is the book. And for those of you watching on YouTube, you see the YouTube channel name. It's called Accountable Masculinity University. This is where we learn things that men need to know and teach things that men need to know. It's nothing specific other than just how to be more disciplined than what you are and making sense out of your past. So every man needs a code. This is the code for accountable masculinity. All right. On with the clip.
Deacon, let him go. Back up, just let him go. Let him go.
Miss Linda, you did this! Hell no!
Now you watch your mouth in this church. We were trying to help you.
Mama, please. Please.
Mama, don't do that. Mama, don't do that.
No. We're not doing that. No, we're not doing that. Please.
Oh my Lord, have mercy.
No.
Don't you dare.
You think I need these hand-me-down clothes that your mama gave me? Huh? I don't. We the Bertrands, baby, don't you forget it. And we don't need nothing from you. Y'all, get the boy. Get him! Get him! No! Not the casket. Take him out. Take him out! Oh, they gonna say that they paid for this casket. Take him out of there.
How you gonna say we gonna get him out?
Take him out of there!
Come on, get him!
Oh my God.
That's all right, church. They can have the body. God has already passed judgment on the soul.
Oh my God! So,
Kavi, you start talking about this now.
I'm gonna go ahead and start talking about it.
You brought this to me
because there's
so
so much wrong about this situation right here. One thing is, when we talk about Brother Tyler Perry, let's get this straight. I don't hate Tyler Perry in any way, shape, or form. I do see the positive in how he gives a lot of black actors and actresses chances, you know what I'm saying, to get represented on the silver screen, right? He also pays them well. I understand that Megan Good and Corey, I think is his name, they both acknowledged that they both got paid pretty, I think their highest salary as far as being an actor. So let's give them props for that. I'll give them props for that. However, the only problem with Tyler Perry and Tyler Perry's productions is, it's like Antoine said, the sheer ridiculousness that you see in his productions. Like, I don't know any black person in America, Africa, the islands, anywhere on this globe that has experienced what you just saw. That is the most disgusting thing I have ever seen in my life, and there's a way to handle bodies, right? You just can't pick up a dead body like that's been embalmed. You just can't pick up a dead body. Like, something gonna fall off, the mouth gonna fall open, the eyes gonna come up, something is going to pop, like the sewing, how they sew the mouth in it, something's gonna pop. And at the end of the day, you just can't handle a body like that. Then taking a man's fucking body and putting them in a goddamn 4x4 truck. It looked like a 1989 Ford or whatever the hell that was, and
Back
drive
then.
off with the body, bro. Like that is the craziest thing I've ever seen Tyler Perry produce. I've never seen him. Well, I can't say that's the craziest thing. I could speak on something else, but we'll leave that for another day. But his representation of black people and black culture, I have an extreme problem with. You know what I'm saying? And it's horrible. It's horrible. And I don't know where he gets it from. And like I said, no hate towards the man. It's just I want him to seek help, professional help, because for you to come out with something like that and say this is okay to put out, this is okay to represent Black America, you have to have an issue. And also okay, and also I will say this as well. So it's a couple of parts on here that I just didn't get. So when the preacher is talking to the people, he's talking about how bad the Bertrands are, right? We're talking about every single son. And everybody is in agreement with this man. Everybody is in agreement with the pastor. I have to ask myself, it looked like that church was pretty packed. I had to ask myself, well, if they were such bad people, why the hell did y'all come to the church? So that tells me that there was some nigger element in here where people just wanted to be nosy. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, why were so many people there if nobody liked these dudes? I mean, as far as we got from that scene, for the people who did watch it, it wasn't nothing but bad that they had to say about this. Actually, the dude that got killed, the dude that was in the casket got killed by an older individual because he was trying to rob an old lady, which is insane, right? And another thing that I have to point out, and I'm not weight bashing or anything like that. I'm a pretty hefty guy myself. I'm working on myself. But when she says, I don't need these hand-me-downs from your mama, and I look at the mama and I'm like, yeah, that ain't her hand-me-downs. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no way in hell. Like, it looked like you are about 10 times that woman's size, man. Like, what are you doing? I mean, you're in a church and you're stripping yourself down to your blouse. You know what I'm saying? And this is in a church, bro. So I'm sitting here like, oh my gosh, like what has Tyler Perry experienced as a black man in America? What has he experienced to say that was okay to put out? And just watching the mother and how she was the general and she was the matriarch of what looked like cheetahs, not cheetahs, but what's the hyenas, right? Hyenas, and I'm like, wow. And we'll get into more depth into the movie and deeper into the movie later on. But dude, I mean, the whole process, the whole scene was crazy, from where the wife tried to hold his hand and he yanks his hand from him. I'm like, why are you doing that? Because it just don't make a whole lot of sense. Why would you yank your hand from your wife if she's trying to console you? Like, he makes black men look like we are demons, bruh. He makes black men look like we're demons, and that's not the way to go, because historically in America and other places, you would just say globally, there was a propaganda machine made to make black people as a whole look like animals and look like children, and that justified the slavery that our ancestors went through. And so when we look at that, we have to say to ourselves as entertainers or people who have the power that Tyler Perry has, and say to ourselves, can we do better? Can we do better? Can we make black people look better? Because to be honest with you, I can't say that the majority of black people have been through what you see in this movie and other Tyler Perry movies. I think it's just to the extreme. Some people may have experienced this, man, and because that's what I keep hearing. And I don't want to keep talking because I want you guys to chime in too.
No. I want you to get it all. So this is, you brought this topic to me. I'm here to facilitate and I'm here to solicit, and control the chat and engage.
Get up to the mic. Get up to the mic.
I'm here to facilitate the chat tonight. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm gonna say my piece when it's time to say my piece. Right. But like, I want you guys to address whatever I pull up in the chat. You know what I'm saying, from the audience. Okay. and because this is that kind of topic, you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right. So,
So-
and like I said, and I understand there is a business aspect to this. There's a money making aspect to this. You know, Tyler Perry is $1 billion man right now, and it's something to be admired. You know what I'm saying? Because for a black man to reach that level is great. You know, and also the fact that he has his own, like, he has his own everything, bro. Like, he has his own sets, he has his own equipment, he has his own everything, bro. Like, this man has it going on professionally. So he did a wonderful job doing that and building his brand up to the point where he could get that. You know, I hope that we can build each and individual brand that we have. I hope we can build it up to that point. But like I said, as far as the negativity that is portrayed and the extreme negativity that's portrayed, and it's not just black men. We can speak on the black women. I'm sure you will later on, but I'm speaking of black men right now. It just makes black men look like we are demonic and we are sick individuals. And how can we heal as a community, you know, portraying ourselves like that? I just, when have you seen, I'd like for you guys to answer this. When have you seen a Jewish man on silver screen portrayed like that?
Ooh, yeah.
Antoine, you ever seen that?
They got too much pride for that shit. We ain't got none. You'd have to have no morals and no values to do that shit. I ain't even gonna address the movie.
Hold on, let me bring Antoine to the stage. Come on. Let me run his mouth.
I'm not even gonna address the movie like that asinine shit that you did. I ain't even gonna address the movie. You cannot tell me who the shit that we glorify is unfucking believable. Don't ever ask where they get it from, because we have zero shame putting it out there. Starting from the top, the Tyler Perrys, the P. Diddy's, all that shit just trickles down and makes it look like that. I mean, you want to talk about a sellout, a real sellout? You should be talking about the people that actually say, I'm going to make a movie like that and take the paycheck. But we don't want to talk about that because, like you said, he's supplying people with jobs. He's giving them a place to work. Bro, the shit you were saying, I was like, what the F? Did he just watch the same movie as me? That you actually think that's a job you want to be proud of? To say, hey, mom, look at this movie. This is the tip. And don't ask where he gets it from, because the ratchet shit that's out there and the asinine shit that he sees, he's basing it all on that. And the people that are going to support that movie is the ones that cry the race card when white people make shit like that.
Right.
That's who's going to support the movie.
Right.
So I'm not even going to address the movie because, you know what? Coming from Tyler Perry, that's lower than the Medeas. So it's expected because, you know, he can only make movies off of our shit. Tyler Perry can't make nothing original because if he does, it has to be something on gangster. But, you know, listen. I cannot believe, you know what? I'm kind of happy because out of all the videos I made on this movie and this thing here with Vic, this just brings it all together this just brings it all together like what I was saying. It just justifies the shit I was saying. And here you go talking about he supplies jobs. That's the real sellout part.
Man, look, man, I was trying to make something positive out of it, Antoine.
I ain't making shit positive. I'm calling it like it's seen. I'm bringing up the elephant in the room. All right? Because I don't belong to none of that nigga shit. So I ain't even going to associate with it. This is what I'm glad I'm from Trinidad. This is what I'm proud of from Trinidad. Because Trinidadians are looking at this shit and going, oh, that's how they are in America?
No.
Oh, that's how they are. That's how they get down? Oh, that's how they're supposed to better their community, making movies like this? We don't do nothing good. What we do is exactly what Tyler Perry puts out. Mm-hmm. That's what we do.
Right.
We do.
Right.
Boy, you know what kills me the most? You always have the light-skinned black woman as the crier, and you always have the big fat-ass black woman as the pointer, the angry, the throwing off the clothes. I'm going to get my way and walk out. What black man would grab a body from the coffin and even do something humiliating like that? Now, don't get me wrong. I've seen some real shit on World Star. You know, I seen some shit on World Star, but that's a new low.
That's a new.
That is a new low for us.
New low.
Ooh, that is a new low. So I don't want anybody questioning where they get it from. I don't want anybody pulling the race card. We're not like that. No. We are like that because Tyler Perry pulled that shit from something. Right. He watched something. He did his homework. Right. I didn't even get none of the laughs in there, which I'm sure taking off her and her walking. He did that. Being an artist, I know he cropped it really good with her walking out of the thing, so you can see the limp of the fat woman and get a good laugh, like she's walking away like Humpty Dumpty. You know, she's walking away like, and then you have the innocent, thin black woman chasing her with the fake ass tears that nothing even came down. And then you got the preacher in the background, just like Eddie Murphy's Coming to America. Preacher in the background saying, "We don't need him." You really think if a white man looks at that movie, he would say, "Yeah, I want to produce that shit. That's gonna make me look." It had to come from a black man. Mm-hmm, but you know what? You know what? That had to come from a black man, because you guys get mad at white people when they make the Jesse Owens story, or they make number 52. You get mad because a white person did it. But look what he's producing, and look what our own is producing. But no. We gotta justify it with, well, he's supplying a paycheck, he's doing good for the community, he built the whole thing in Atlanta, he's a billionaire. Yeah, that's all him. That's all him. But heaven forbid he makes a movie like let's see, I don't know, something very constructive like true, like what's that movie with the rocket, the women that went to the moon, helped them get to the moon. What movie called? Hidden Figures. No, that's a white man production. Heaven forbid he makes something like that. Oh, no. Tyler Perry's got to go to the new fucking low. And for anybody to justify this movie or to laugh at it, you're laughing at yourself, actually. You're laughing at yourself. But you know what? Don't come on Vic's channel and start preaching to me, because I'm going to have Vic play that fucking trailer every time. Every time. I'm going to have him play that trailer. I'm going to say, Vic, cut that trailer out.
So Antoine, so the reason why I said that about, the positive things, I'm being sarcastic when I say that, because that's the defense. That's the defense.
Why are you defending shit?
That is the defense that everybody.
Antoine, he's saying that's the popular narrative. That's the narrative that everybody justifies why it's okay for him to do that. That's what Kavi's saying.
Right. Yeah, boy, it's not my defense. No, I don't appreciate any of what he puts out.
I can't wait till my coworkers talk to me about this. I can't wait. I can't fucking wait. I can't wait. I can't wait till they bring it up. I can't wait till they say, "Hey, Antoine, are you gonna see the new Tyler Perry movies?" I go, "No, I don't associate with that shit. That ain't me. I know he ain't talking about me. I know he ain't talking about me.
I ain't got shit to do with that."
And here's where my input comes in. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the way I like for the conversation to flow. Like,
right.
Kavi's got a point. He represents the offended people. You know what I'm saying, in this situation. Antoine represents the holy shit factor. You know what I'm saying? and I'm sitting here in the middle because I see both sides. That's exactly why I got it framed up the way I got it framed up. There is justifiable offense on both sides of it. I get it. But there's some disciplined people. These are the disciplined people talking about it.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? We're the people that's like, yo, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't represent who I am.
Right.
That doesn't represent, like it's only entertainment, but we draw lessons from everything. You know what I'm saying? The same way people, because you brought up propaganda earlier, right? The religious text of the Bible is infallible by most people. You know what I'm saying? That are, Christians or whatever belief system that they claim, regardless of denomination, and they accept it as fact without ever seeing a screenplay, seeing a script, other than just what's been written, right? Not what's been acted out, but what's been written. And they extract lessons from that too, which is why, like Sydney in the comments, shout out to Sydney, Natalia. She's saying, let me pull up what she said. She said,
Lord have mercy, please tell me she's not justifying this asinine shit. Please tell me. Please, Lord,
she's saying, that's the point though. So it can stay hours, you know, in
Oh,
terms
I
of
can
that.
say ours. Oh no, that's why Hollywood wants Tyler Perry to make that shit. No, you make it, because over here we are respectable. We don't make shit like that about our own. We need
Yeah.
you to make it, so that way when the black people come for Hollywood, they're coming at you. They're leaving us over here alone. No. We made Hidden Figures. We made the Jesse Owens story. We made number 52. We're good over here. We gave you fucking Blade as a fucking Marvel character. No, we're good. We want Tyler Perry to make this shit. Build your own studio. Do the Kunta Kinte shit. But just know, don't associate that with modern fucking Hollywood. Okay, just as long as you know that. We got 10 Commandments. We got good shit over here. You know, just like you guys got Will Smith for the Oscars, we got respectable niggas over here. This is where the good ones hang out. You guys can have that shit. That shit will never win an Oscar. You guys are gonna have to create your own Oscar for shit like that. Because
and you know what, the creating of the own Oscars and all that stuff, that's always been a topic of conversation, because some people get offended that you know black actors don't get the shine or the recognition from the Oscar Academy that they should. But when you get situations like this, you're right. You got to hold your own awards. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
and for best actor, you play that clip. And for best actor, you play that clip for a black woman taking off her clothes. For best actor, and the best supporting actor, the black woman that cried with no tears. You got to play that one. Come on now, we need the support.
Antoine, like, you need to see the clip one more time, man. That's
no, I don't need to see the clip. I'm embarrassed, bro. I'm gonna get asked questions about this shit. I wouldn't even make a poster for that shit. I wouldn't even make a poster for that shit. Two things I don't draw: against my own, and I ain't drawing against God. Fuck that shit. No. I'll leave that to them. It's okay, but I'm not gonna justify it. That is embarrassing on so many levels.
It definitely is, you know, an embarrassment. And the thing is like, that's why I called Vic when I watched it, man. I said, man, let me call Vic and see what his take is after he watches this whole thing, because it gives him a lot of ammo, to be honest with you. It really does give him a lot of ammo, especially later on in the movie. It gives him even more ammo. So the thing is that this movie is all over the place. For one thing, it's all over the place. But like I said, everything sticks to stereotypical black males. You know what I'm saying?
Stereotype starts from somewhere. Let's call it like it is. A stereotype starts from somewhere. It ain't a stereotype. He got that shit off social media. Let's make a movie about this.
And you know what? I think I know what you're talking about when you're talking about.
I bet he died from a gunshot too. I bet he died from robbing a store too. I bet he died from robbing a store too.
Antoine, and to Antoine's point when he said keep that over there.
Right.
You know, Sydney also says they have a lane and they stay true to it. When I need to cry, I find the Hallmark Channel. Yep. Okay. Everybody knows where to go. You know, and that's the discipline piece that I'm always talking about. It's like, you don't go to a steakhouse and get mad because the chicken tenders suck.
Right.
You go to the place that sells chicken tenders. You know what I'm saying? Right. You don't go to
take your ass to Chick-fil-A.
Right. So many places that sell chicken tenders. You want to argue about Zaxby's or you name whatever your place is. You know what I'm saying? Wendy's on the 4 for $4, the dollar menu or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You can argue about competing chicken tenders. You know what I'm saying? From that right there. But you don't go looking for prime rib at a place that sells burgers.
Exactly.
That's the bottom line.
And the sad thing is, could you imagine the group that sat around a table writing this shit? Like,
that's the thing. That's the thing, Antoine. That's the thing, Antoine. So let me talk about that right there. So there's been a petition out here that's been created they're asking Tyler Perry to give up his writing, position. They don't want him to write anymore, because if you go on Rotten Tomatoes and you look at the percentage that liked this movie, it was 0%. That is crazy. At 0%, I'm like, whoa.
Well, question about that. Do you think that has more to do with Tyler Perry not playing ball with the people that actually promote? Because a lot of these platforms, right? Let's say if you paid me to promote something that you had going on, right? And I don't like the deal or whatever, and then I decide to write something negative about you in spite. or just to disregard it and watch it and not give it a rating anyway, because I can watch whatever I want to watch and then put out.
So no, that's not what happened here, because Amazon has given him a budget for 2 more films. So he's going to make 2 more films under the Amazon Prime platform.
Yeah, for 1 and 2.
Right. So at the end of the day, you know, they did everything that they could to promote this movie. That they're not doing anything to hold anything back, because that would cause Amazon to lose money.
Because
You know
so
what I'm
you're
saying?
saying is Amazon has a vested interest in
Yes.
they soliciting Rotten Tomatoes to say, hey, go check out this film and tell me what you think of it.
Right. Amazon had, you know, a vested interest in actually paying somebody for Rotten Tomatoes to at least give this thing a 20 or 30. They have the vested interest to do that.
Nothing to lose. They have nothing to lose.
Right. But the thing is, okay, so IMDb rated it 4.4 out of 10. That's still terrible. That's that's less than 50%. That's an F. So at the end of the day, that's still terrible. I mean, there are people out here that like this film, and when I went on the pages that were talking about this film right here, what I found is I found a whole lot of comments of people saying different things, and the people who liked it, they used those excuses. Like I said, well, Tyler Perry's putting money, you know, in people's pockets. He's giving black actors and actresses jobs. This is for sheer entertainment. This isn't something that, you know, you should take seriously or anything like. Well, there are lessons being taught in here. Did you listen to the lessons and all these different things? And I'm like, wait a minute, you know, so what lesson did we learn out of this? And then it's women, and they'll say, well, you don't put everything into a person that's not appreciating you. Well, duh, isn't that kind of like that should be like automatically known? You know, that shouldn't be something that you should be learning in your fucking 30s and 40s. That's something you should learn that a long time ago.
Wait a minute, they got that lesson from the body being carried out? Is that what you're talking about?
No. So Antoine, you haven't had the privilege of watching the whole movie, and I doubt you're going to watch it just off of watching that open. Right. So if you watch the whole movie, you know, it goes into a little bit of detail of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? As far as the character Dallas, which is played by Corey, and what's Megan Good's name? What's Megan Good's name? I can't remember. What is her name? Look it up while I'm talking. So
I'm working on it right now.
So you know, when you have these characters right here, Corey, he comes from, Dallas, he comes from a fucked up background. Okay. You can see this later on in the movie. You can see a single wide trailer in the sticks, and you see that this woman, single mother, was raising 5 different boys in this single wide trailer under extreme poverty. You know that.
There's a good lesson for you. Yeah, there's a good lesson.
Well, I mean, you know, that happens. That's things that happens. You know what I'm saying?
That's not true at all. That's fiction right there.
But he came up in those type of conditions, right? So being that he came up in those type of conditions, you know, you're going to have a person that has a whole lot of psychological problems, right?
Oh, Megan Good plays Ava.
Ava, right. So you're going to have a person that has a whole lot of psychological problems. So Ava was raised by her mother and her father, church-going people, you know, the pastor and the pastor's wife. Not saying that that's a guaranteed good child coming out of that. We all know how that goes, right? So Ava is a supportive wife that does everything that she's supposed to do. She even says in a clip on that, well, in a scene, she says, I cook, I clean, I stay faithful. You know, what did I do wrong? How did this happen? Well, I mean, we see this too many times in our communities. Sometimes you have that woman that is that type of person that is actually a supportive individual.
Although rare.
I won't say that's rare. I won't say that's rare. You'll say that's rare.
Now you're being disingenuous. You see what I mean?
Okay.
That's what I mean. You're not even being honest, bro. Like, you know
okay, so what I'm saying, is I would say, so you would say that most women aren't supportive? Is that what you're saying, Antoine?
Are we talking black women?
Yeah,
we're talking black women. The statistics are out. So are we talking black women?
We don't have any statistics supporting that.
Dude, what is the percentage of baby mamas? What is the percentage of them getting married? What are the percentages of a nuclear family? What is the percentage of who leaves the marriage? So yeah, okay. I'm talking statistics out there. Like if you're gonna
Okay.
talk, don't be disingenuous, and you got me. But if you start going disingenuous, trying to laugh it off and say what is not, no way. I'm not agreeing with that. You're gonna say what's real. So if you go with those statistics, it's nothing laughable, and you're wrong. The statistics are out. That's all I'm saying. I just want people to call it like it is.
What I'm simply saying, Antoine, is whether the man is good or bad, there are women that are supportive of good men and bad men. Unfortunately, that's where they lose themselves. That's honestly where they lose themselves. Because a lot of what I'm saying is that's where they lose themselves. A lot of women put a lot of energy into dumb ass niggas, and we know that.
See, now you're on the right page. Now you're saying it. Now you're describing things.
So I'm right in saying that women do support men, whether bad or good men.
There's a discipline. There's a discipline set of men and women. Hold up. What Kavi's saying is this, and this is where I come in. There's a disciplined group of men and women that support each other, and there's an undisciplined group of men and women that support each other that are attracted to.
Which is more generally speaking?
More. What do you mean? Which
generally speaking, supportive or not?
Say that part again.
Are there more generally supportive women in the black community or not supportive women in the black community?
I would say that Antoine is probably less supportive black women.
There you go.
Simply because that there are the 50-some% of homes, 51% of homes, somewhere between 51 and 55% of homes are single mother led.
Jesus Christ.
So if you want to pick a stat, you know what I'm saying, to base that off of, which Antoine is talking about, this is where I say like a large percentage. I think the majority of the makeup and demographic of the black community is what Antoine is talking about. There's a matriarchal led version of our community and a patriarchal version of our community. I think that's fair to say, because there are women that's on one side of it that champion whatever they champion and don't care about, you know what I'm saying, the influence of having good men in the architecture. And then there's some men that simply aren't attracted to those women that lead their households completely differently. You know what I'm saying? So based on statistics, if we want to base it on some empirical data and metric, I think Antoine's right in that regard.
Okay. And what I'm saying is this. I'm saying when you read the comments, and there were thousands of comments, and I just took my time and kind of ciphered through them and to see what people were saying. When I saw the women that related to this movie, there are women that have supported men that just wasn't shit. You know what I'm saying? They gave him 2, 3, 4, 5 chances after being cheated on. The nigga didn't keep no job. The nigga didn't have no, drive about himself. All this crazy stuff.
And those are the women that fit what Antoine's talking about.
Okay, but what I'm saying is that we can't say that black women are not supportive. That's not true. Black women are supportive, but unfortunately they have been supportive to the wrong type of man. So that happens, and when that happens, all that energy that woman put into that man, that bad man, after it goes south and it goes negative, they don't want to put that type of energy into anybody else. And that's where a whole lot of, our sisters end up being single, don't find another man, because they're not putting that same energy that they put into that first or that second man that broke their heart, that took all their energy away from them. You know what I'm saying? And I can't say that I don't blame them, because when it comes to women and it comes to men, when you put 100% of your energy into somebody and they just completely spit in your face, you tend to not want to put 100% in that in anything else. You know what I'm saying? And until you heal. Once you heal, then you're willing to put that 100% into somebody else. But it's kind of like if it snows outside or ice is outside and you walk down your steps and you slip on a step and you fall all the way down and damn near break your neck, right? The next time that you go outside that day in those icy conditions, you're going to be what? You're going to be timid. You're going to be careful. But you're going to be cautious because you don't want to slip and almost break your neck again. You're going to be a whole lot more cautious. So it's just quite naturally through a human aspect, right? It's quite natural for a woman or man that's been hurt by someone that they supported. not to give 100% to the next person. This is why we say, you know, when it comes to relationships, before you move on to another relationship after a bad relationship, you need to heal. You have to heal. So this is another negative about this movie. The next negative about this movie was Tyler Perry showed what's her name again? Ava. Yeah, showed Ava moving on too fast. She didn't have time to heal. So if you played part 2 of that movie, sure, you could put this fantasy up and say, okay, they lived happily ever after. But the likelihood, because of what Ava went through, that relationship or that marriage is probably going to fail because Ava's going to be holding back. Whereas this other gentleman named Benji, which is the person that she started having sex with, they wasn't even in a relationship. I'm just assuming that they'll eventually be in a relationship. As far as Benji kind of waited. He kind of like sat back, because if you noticed on the movie, Benji had a daughter, so he was co-parenting with his ex, so you have that aspect
about that scene too.
Okay, right. So what I'm saying is that I do not believe that black women are not supportive. I've seen black women too supportive to some men. I've seen that. You know what I'm saying? So I know for a fact that there are black women that are supportive. Now, like I said, supportive to the wrong man, that happens. I'm not exactly sure why it happens so often, because that seems to be the norm for Tyler Perry in his movies. I can't say that Tyler Perry has made a movie where a black man has married a black woman has married a good black man. I can't say that I've ever seen a Tyler Perry movie.
There's no money in that. There's no money in that.
Right.
There's no money in that one. There's no money in that. Are you kidding me? That would be Tyler Perry trying to put black people in a positive light. Heaven forbid that. No. We got to stick to the levels of Medea, angry black woman. We got to stick to that level. We can't be going above that. Hell no. Right? And for you to be disingenuous and say that, you got to put that little disclaimer in there. Mm-hmm. Everybody, we have to go always beyond the call of fucking duty when it comes to black women and their trauma. Okay, everybody goes through a heartache, right? But it seems all the time we always justify it with the black woman goes through it harder. I'm still trying to figure out the hell they need protection from when they're doing pretty good doing that manly shit. So I'm still wondering what protection you need on that end. I hate justifying it. I hate justifying it. They always need that special tenderness when they're fucking not even feminine, when that's a chore for them. It's like you gotta fucking go out of the woodworks for them to be feminine. That's like a weakness for them. But here you are saying that they're a little bit more careful on the next relationship when most of them pee standing up. Like, it doesn't make sense, exactly. It's not making sense. That's my face too. Because you're saying one thing, yet the way it's being expressed and the way they come off, and first of all, they say it all the time, they don't need no niggas, especially a black one. Like, what are you talking about? I'm hoping more.
That's a lie. Antoine, that's a lie. Antoine, that's a lie.
It's the truth, because that's a lie. It is. Because you're in your little anecdotal world like that. But I'm talking about it's a lot. Yeah, for you.
It's what I'm saying. It's a lie. When you really sit down and you really talk to sisters and you really get that, and when you get that conversation, out, when they say they don't need a black man or they don't need a man, period. It's not necessarily a black man. They say they don't need a man, period. What they are saying is financially they don't need a man. But at the end of the
They even say
at the end of the day, no black woman, in my opinion, wants to die alone. If there's a black woman that's watching right now that is okay with dying alone, with no man, with no relationship, then say that. Leave that in the chat, because I want to see that. I want to see how many black women are like that.
Channels on social media have you watched Kevin Samuels when he was on for years and they were saying that to him, and they all came out very clearly saying they don't need a man, especially a black one. Wait a minute, we're good enough to have kids with, and they're good enough to become baby mamas. I'm
gonna checkmate you with that.
Wait.
Why were you on the Kevin Samuels show?
I love it. I tell you why. Because I'll tell you why. I can tell you why. I don't agree with what everything Kevin Samuels said. Him and I, when it comes to the love, and then when it comes to the man exercising his options, especially a wealthy man, and what defines a high value man, I don't agree with any of that shit he said. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree with any of that shit he said. We're on two different pages when it comes to that. But when it comes to the character and matching their energy and what they want and what he's trying to tell them it takes to get, and the negativity he received based on what he's saying, based on facts from men that he has done research on, dude, are you kidding me? Like, you know. Okay, so I'm coming from that point of view. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, but you cannot tell me when they talk like that and you put it out in the universe, as they say, it ain't going to come back to you. Holy shit, man. Most of them walk around with a hard face anyways. You want to say hi to that? Good luck. Good luck, man. You know what I mean?
So,
I see that hard face. I'm like, I ain't saying shit to her. That's one. I don't know if she's pissed off or she lost money. No, I'm not doing that. But you're not saying it like it is. I'm just saying, like, I'm being real to this. You're telling me I wouldn't even watch a movie like that. Like, that's beneath me. And yes, beneath me. Just like the Medeas and all that other shit he puts out. I don't support him one way or the other. That's like supporting somebody that's a PD. That's like craziness, man. And you're telling me that clip was enough. That clip was enough. And I'm like, well, why would I? I still got an answer to that when those guys come up to me.
So let's talk about that clip. Let's talk about that clip. Was the pastor in the right or was he in the wrong? Let's talk about that.
Pastor was an idiot. No pastors act like that.
Let's put a pin. Let's put a pin right there. I want to play this one clip that kind of captures everything that you guys was already discussing, and then we'll continue. So we're gonna come back on the pastor note. Okay, stand by.
Okay, all right.
Let me pull this screen up real quick. And
Antoine ain't trying to hear this shit, yo.
I don't know why you want to put that shit back up.
No, we ain't playing that clip. We're playing something else.
Thank God. I can't hear nothing.
Can't hear it.
Okay, hang on a second. I gotta let me fix the audio part of it. And see, this is why engineering is they share the tab. Hang on. Boom, boom, boom. I should have been ready. Hang on a second. This is why engineering ain't what people think it is, man. Because we have to, you know what I'm saying, make things make sense.
All right, so basically, while you're bringing that up, I'm gonna tell Antoine exactly what happens in that scene. So in the beginning scene, what you see is the pastor preaching, and with the pastor preaching, he is basically calling out all the negatives that this family has done in the community, right? So he talks about the individual that's in the casket, and he says that, you know, he was trying to rob an old lady. So that's the reason why he ended up in this casket. But
what did I tell you? What did I tell you? And I didn't even see the movie. I bet he got shot. What did I tell you?
Shot. Yeah, he got shot. No doubt. Did
I see the movie? No.
No, but like I said, he goes into grave detail about, you know, how they need to straighten themselves out and how they need to, you know, find their way to God and all these different things. And basically what he insinuates that the brother that's in the casket is going to go to hell. So after he insinuates that, that's when the mother stands up and says, I thought you was going to say some nice things about my son. And that's when she turns to the wife and she says, this is all your fault. You know, because you told me to trust your father. You told me to trust this church, and this church is telling me that my son is going to hell. So at the end of the day, that's where the mom gets pissed off and she starts stripping all the stuff down, goes down to a blouse. That's where that comes in. And that's the reason why she pulled her son out of the casket, because the casket was donated to her by the church. The clothes were donated to her by the church, so she didn't want anything to do with anything to do with that church, because basically the pastor told her, hey, your son's going to hell. If the rest of your kids don't get their shit straight, they're going to hell too. Wow. So that's the reason why
I'm glad you explained it like that, because that could have been portrayed. That could have been a solid message portrayed in so many ways that would definitely reach the masses.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let me see if this thing will play real quick. Hang on.
At what point
you got audio?
Say enough is enough, Tyler Perry? At what point
do we say we will not watch these films anymore until you hire some writers?
What the fuck is this? Like, really, Tyler Perry? How do you have a $1 billion production company, a whole fucking studio lot, and this is the type of shit that you are making?
I'm tired of the same stereotypes. I'm tired of gospel interludes. I'm tired.
Okay.
I'm exhausted.
Such a shame to see this man who like is so capable of doing so great, just not doing it.
For all of us who love you, who are pulling for you, who want you to have success, okay? You have to have a writer's room because I can't give you another 2 hours. I simply cannot give you another 2 hours.
Damn.
At what point?
Oh, God.
Damn.
I just love this, man. I'm so fucking right. I love it. It's like I'm just cozy and warm inside.
Man, look, and they're right. They're right. At the end of the day, you know, we're having a problem with Tyler right now, man, because damn, dude, like, come on, like, stop. You gotta stop putting this crazy shit out. Stop putting this trash out.
No, you said it right. He's a no. Don't start going back.
Hey, don't throw that on me. I said that's what the people were saying. I said that's what the people were saying.
No, he's $1 billion man. He's supplying people with jobs, and they got a place to go, and they're actors, and they got a place to act, and we got our own studio.
Get him, Antoine.
Let's keep it moving forward.
I already explained to Antoine's ass that was not my thoughts. Those were the comments I was watching. I mean, I was looking at underneath.
Yeah, no doubt.
So at the end of the day, I don't agree with anything Tyler did right there. I don't agree with any of his moves for that matter. And I understand, like I said, people say that they're entertainment. I don't know what you're being entertained by. I have no idea what you're being entertained by. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you're being entertained by trauma. Like, you can really relate to this stuff. Like,
Traumanomics.
I'm not getting it. Now, as far as a woman going through an abusive relationship, I'm sure there are a lot of women that can actually you know, relate to it, because I think it's a statistic 40% of women go through abuse. As far as Black women go through some type of form of abuse in their relationships. So I do get that. I understand that those women would be able to relate to that. They would be able to relate to traumatic experiences like that. See, that's one thing us Black men don't know, is that 40% of Black women have been through abusive relationships.
Oh, you gotta pull up the stats on that one. Oh, you
look, that is a statistic.
Yeah, hear him out, Antoine. No, hear him out. If he gonna talk,
that is a statistic. That is a fact, and it is. I think it's 1 in 3 Black women. I think it's 1 in 7 Black men. So 1 in 7 Black men go through abuse. So the thing is that in that 1 in 7 that we're looking at, it's higher than 1 in 7 because men don't report abuse.
That's so true.
Whereas where women they report abuse, so it's probably damn near equal. It's like we like to put our hands on each other, some shit. I don't know, but if you take that and you say 40% of Black women have experienced some type of abuse in their relationship or in their marriage, goddamn, y'all. I mean, what are they supposed to walk into the next fucking relationship just with rainbows and goddamn sunshine? Like, it's not gonna happen. But that's, like I said, we preach to these ladies to say, okay, before you get into another relationship, before you get into another marriage, you need to heal. And a lot of sisters ain't doing that. They're not doing that. They just moving from one relationship to another relationship, and it's a continuous cycle.
Well,
like I said, I don't.
D is good.
Yeah,
like they got to move when the D is good, like they say, no.
Hey, I'm gonna give you.
When the D is good, they got to move. Like they said, they would leave a man for the D. So you know, he ain't cutting it. He has everything else, but he's not cutting it with the D. So I got to move. So you know.
So, gents, I'm going to give you guys another 6 minutes when it comes to, you know, like the nuances that need to be discussed on this. Then I'm going to start talking about the principles of accountable masculinity and how it overlays what's going on in this film. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to make it make sense, because the problems that you guys have identified present opportunities to have a discussion about solutions. Because you know, like whether they discipline or undisciplined, they present problems, solutions, and opportunities. So I want to make sure that we make sense of it, because there's always going to be plenty of clips where people just voice their displeasure with something, but what's the solution? They still ask. You notice, like on that clip I last played, everybody's asking questions. They like, you got all of this money and all these resources, and this is what you're producing, right? So I want to talk about, you know, like the opportunities in that, to understand why these things come to fruition, and you know, like what kind of discussion we can have that leads to a better outcome.
Okay, so let's go to this right here. We can kind of talk to this right here. Okay, so the story of this right here is this woman was 17 years old when she started first dating Dallas. You know, so she's 17 years old. She's almost in her 40s now. So she's went through that many years with the same man. So at 17, now let's think about our minds at 17, right? 17, 18 years old, and think about how green we are, and think about how gullible we are, and how, just let's say, ignorant we are about the world, right? At 17, when did she first find out that this man wasn't shit? You know what I'm saying? When you go through the vetting process, and you were talking about this at one point, Vic, you were talking about this on another show. You were talking about going through the vetting process. Should that vetting process have been, well, let's see what his family looks like. Let's see where he comes from. You know, because at the end of the day, that would have given you some information about what you were going to be dealing with. When you, hey, let's go to your house real quick before we start dating. I want to meet your mom. I want to meet your brothers. I want to meet these people. And then once you see those people and you see what you're working with, at that point you can make that decision. But at 17, are our young ladies capable of vetting like that? They will vet now.
And that's why her father's role was so important, because he was like, you see the way that I love your mother? I didn't teach you how to be treated that way.
Right.
These are the parts that I want to pick up on. So as you talk through the movie, this is why I talked about the vetting process as well. The format of a family determines the behavior of the children as they come out of it. Because one of the things that was discussed in that movie, Ava's husband Dallas, right?
Right.
He said early on, and I really wish they would have expanded on this, his mom made him off his daddy.
Yep.
Nobody's talking about that.
Nobody's talking about that.
Nobody's talking about how what in a mother's mind would, another credit to Tyler Perry's, you know what I'm saying, depiction. They were able to write into that script about a son offing his father at the request of his mother. And he said it while he was drunk. And that don't tell you a lot about the trauma that he probably that we can simulate that he probably went through prior to pulling that trigger and then leading to the outcome of them pulling their brother out of the casket. Think about the crazy amount of scenarios that they probably dealt with before that moment.
Exactly.
And then taking into consideration that they were already burying their brother for trying to rob an elderly person that ended up shooting. So it's not like that the father didn't have a hand on what was going on either. You know what I'm saying? It was just the fact that she made her own choices because she was being Barbara the Builder. And I hear, you know what I'm saying, women say all the time, you shouldn't get a man that you got to build up, you know? And this is what they was talking about. That's the lesson in that. So the presence of your father is a reference point. It's not going to save you from everything. And then the other part, when you talked about her needing to go heal, right?
Right.
Before she got into that relationship with Benji.
Right.
You see the danger that Benji got into because he decided he wanted to spend a night at her house, and then
he almost got his ass killed, right?
Yeah. And that goes to the other point that I say women are more dangerous to men than the police.
Because let me expand on that. Because what happened there in the kitchen is he was in there eating his cereal and he was talking about, hey man, I'm gonna forgive you and I'm gonna give you a second chance.
Listen to this. Yeah.
Right. He says, I'm gonna forgive you and I'm gonna give you a second chance.
And this is post-divorce, right? Post-divorce.
Right. Now, while he's having this discussion with what's the
Wait,
girl's name
wait.
again?
Forgive him for what? Because I need some context.
Okay, what's the
So
girl's name again?
Ava.
Ava.
So
Okay.
Because
so
I need some context, so I need to know. Forgive me.
yeah. So give Antoine the context of what you're about to explain.
Okay, I'm gonna give you the whole scene. So the whole scene opens up like this. It's the morning time. This is the day after Ava and Benji have pretty much made love. You know what I'm saying? They've had sex or whatever. So when she comes downstairs from the room, Dallas, which is her ex-husband, is sitting there in the kitchen eating cereal. And so I don't even know how the nigga got in. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, he's sitting there eating cereal. So while he's eating cereal, she says, "Well, what are you doing here?" And at that point, you know, Dallas is like, "Hey, look, I don't want a divorce. I want to give you a second chance. I'm gonna forgive everything. I want to give you a second chance." And the reason why he's saying this is because when they went to sign the divorce papers, Ava, which is his ex-wife, she signed the divorce papers without a lawyer present. We're not gonna go into that.
Right. But
But
he's forgiving her for what?
right, she's because
what did she do?
He's trying to flip this on her because he wanted the damn divorce.
Okay.
She didn't want the divorce. He wanted the divorce. So he's trying to flip this on her and saying, "Look, I forgive you for anything that you've done after signing those papers. Because I know that you've been with Benji. I saw the pictures of y'all at the fair walking together. So I know you've been with Benji, but I'm willing to forgive that, and I'm willing to go ahead and work this thing out." So this is what Vic is talking about when he's talking about being a danger to that man. While they're having this discussion downstairs, Benji is upstairs in the damn bed, sleep. Now, Dallas says, "I forgive you. I'm going to go upstairs and take a shower." Now, when he says, "I'm going to go upstairs and take a shower," what Ava should have said is said, nah, you need to just go ahead and go out. We can talk about this later. Ava lets this man go upstairs without any resistance. So this man goes upstairs, sees Benji in her bed, and from there's a fight scene, which it was the most terrible fight scene that you've ever seen in your life. Because
so she caused it willingly.
She caused it willingly. She wanted Dallas to see this big ass 6'5" cut up like a damn raisin nigga in her bed. She wanted to see. She wanted him to see that she was fucking a mandingo.
Yeah, she wanted to hurt him. She wanted to hurt him on purpose.
She wanted to hurt him, but the thing
sure
is,
did. She definitely made phone calls and questioned his.
Oh yeah, she wanted to hurt him on purpose.
Yeah,
that's
she
malicious.
challenged
That's a malicious shit right there. Okay.
Say that again, Vic. Say that again, Vic.
Yeah, because she made those phone calls to challenge or shame his sexual efficiency. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like she baited him into it.
Sure did. She baited him into it. So the thing is that so you got this man that is already furious, and he's already over the top. He's ready to kill something already. You got him going up these steps to see this mandingo sitting in your bed. So she is going to. She's basically almost causing the death of someone. So, like I said, it's a horrible fight scene for one damn thing. For one thing, Dallas, who was much smaller in the beginning, whoops this big ass motherfucker's ass, which I didn't understand that. I was just like, okay, well, maybe he's just now waking up. He ain't got his shit together. He ain't coherent, so maybe that's why he's getting his ass whooped. But eventually, Benji turns it on him and chokes the dude out. You know what I'm saying? Like chokes the dude out, and dude like falls out, and he's unconscious at that point. After that, here comes Miss Thang, his wife, his ex-wife. She grabs this nigga and drags him all the way out of the room.
And Megan Good about 130 pounds.
Might be 130.
Might be.
Might be 130. She drags a grown ass man out of the room.
And just threw her on the bed too.
Yeah.
Because he tossed her like canned goods.
Yeah. Down the steps, out the house, and drug him to his truck, placed him in the truck, and closed the door. She did all that. And that's basically just emasculating that character, right? We know what that is. It's the same thing that you saw when what's that damn movie where Regina was in it and she wet the floor with the oil, and dude slipped and she started
And she
beating him like a
whooping him with
child.
the belt.
Right. Emasculating the character is basically what you're doing. That's basically what that was about. So, like I said, that is what Vic is talking about when he's talking about, you know, sometimes women being emotional can be a danger to men because somebody was supposed to die in that scene. If I divorce my wife, right, which we're not speaking on that, I'm not divorcing my wife, you know what I'm saying? But if I divorce my wife and I come to the crib and I try to make amends with my wife and say, hey, we need to get back together. And I go back to my room to get my clothes and my drawers so I could take a shower real quick. And there's some mandingo sitting up in there. He probably gonna die.
Well, here's the thing though.
Why? He did nothing wrong. Why?
Yeah.
He did nothing wrong.
But see, that's your rational mind.
You're
That's
talking
your
about the
rational
emotional.
mind
You're talking about the emotional aspect of it.
That's your rational mind thinking. You know what I'm saying? So when
he
you
already
see
drunk.
that, you're right. When you see that as a man, you're not thinking rationally anymore. You know what I'm saying? You're like, oh shit, she in here fucking somebody in my crib. It's been less than 2 fucking weeks and she already moved on. So if it's been less than 2 weeks, she's already moved on. Has she been fucking this dude the whole time?
But
She been cheating on me, but she had me making me feel like I was the motherfucking problem. You feel what I'm saying?
But here's where I counter with that, because everything that you're describing is legit based on the movie, right?
Yeah.
And how it's presented. But for Antoine, I want you to keep this in mind. The divorce was already final.
Fine, right. Mm-hmm.
He broke back into the house.
Right.
Yeah. I blame him for that. But
Yeah.
I blame her. I blame her for almost causing his death.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So imagine you in a relationship with this chick now. You know what I'm saying? And you spend the night, you think the coast is clear, even though you probably know it's not. You know, there's always that in the back of your mind, because you say all the time, I'm not gonna deal with a woman that's got kids unless the baby daddy is locked up or dead. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And this scene justified you even saying that. You know, like, it might sound harsh, but it's the truth. But imagine just minding your business and you wake up after an awesome night with the lady that you want to be with.
Oh yeah.
And then you woke up getting beat up. You know what I'm saying? Because
listen. I can honestly probably relate to how the guy felt about seeing something like that. Right.
Right.
Not at that magnitude, but
he didn't have no business breaking back in the house.
Listen, he had no business messing with her. Period. It's a
that's the other part, because as crazy as it looked on film, it's in the news media. Stuff like that still happens. You know,
that's what I'm trying to say. That's where Tyler Perry got it from. If you watch social media, women talk about these stories.
Right.
Women talk about, and they laugh about it on TikTok about doing this to a man. That's what I'm trying to say.
That right there is the thing, is the scene that justifies women choosing the bear.
Right.
Yep.
That's the scene that justifies women. But the thing is, look at the men that they would look at the men that they would select the bear over. Because like what I want to highlight is this right here. The focus about the worst versions of men that Tyler Perry produces his products on, we never talk about the behavior of the women that attracts these men.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are disciplined and respectful men that don't behave that way, that want the best outcomes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the men that usually take offense to the films that Tyler Perry produces, the narratives that go with them, and whatever it is that he's trying to sell, you know what I'm saying, where it openly offends everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When he does put something out.
Right.
So for the men that fit this behavior, most of these men generally are raised by women.
Of course.
And
of course. A man in the house ain't gonna raise no pussified son like that.
And
of course not.
And so when you go back and you think about that opening scene, that clip that I played, right? This is the first thing that came to mind. Right here. Ma Barker and the gang. Those are her sons. These are the type, these are the sons raised by single mothers most of the time. And that's what was going on in the movie. You know what I'm saying? Take a good look at that. You remember this cartoon?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
DuckTales. Yeah, it's DuckTales.
It's just, this is my bark in the game right here. You know what I'm saying? So these are the sons that single mothers raised, that Tyler Perry captured accurately. Because let's not dismiss the fact that he did capture the behavior and the imagery of people that fit the most extreme behaviors that we can't relate to because we may not have been raised that way. You know what I'm saying? But there's a large demographic of people that can relate to his content, because I believe that Tyler Perry's films are based on the theory of traumanomics. He's playing on the emotions, obviously, because you have to play emotions when you're dealing with cinema, right?
Right.
But it's about traumanomics. He's willing to trigger people, tell a story, profit off of it, and you extract from it whatever you want to, But he's found a way to get the conversation in front of people like us, in front of people that do and do not support his work, whether we, we care about it or not. And it's worth highlighting it, because
that's why he's a billionaire.
That's why he's a billionaire, because
Right.
you have to be able to get in people's hearts and minds in order to bring about certain dialogue, right?
He's the real master, right? He's the real mastermind.
Yeah, he's a mastermind in that regard. It's almost like Floyd Mayweather. You watch it to see if you're gonna hate it or love it. You know what I'm saying? You either watch it to see if it's gonna fail. Just like Antoine's already like, I can't talk about this amongst other people. You know what I'm saying? But because
What am I gonna say, boy? And you know what? I have to now, on that note, I got a text from Elaine. Yes, there is a black woman that I know named Elaine. Yeah.
Okay.
Just to let you know, she is black. I shout out to her. She said, Antoine, you better make it clear you don't know black women like that. She said, you better not be talking to me. You better not be talking about our circle, because you don't know black women like. And I just want to let her know she knows I ain't talking about her, because she watch it, and for her to text me, she must be fucking up the roof in pistosity right now.
Hey, this is why I say we have to start being more specific about what we see, because we're talking about people that fit the behavior. It's 1000% accurate for people that fit the behavior. If you don't fit the behavior, you shouldn't get offended.
Right.
You could sit up here and talk about people doing, the worst deeds to each other that look like me. But if I don't behave that way, I'm not gonna get offended by it.
Can I kind of give you a rebuttal on that a little bit though?
Sure.
If you don't mind. Okay, so you said if you don't fit the behavior, you shouldn't get offended by it. So I shouldn't be offended by Tyler Perry movies. I don't fit the behavior, but I do get offended by Tyler Perry movies, because at the end of the day, I am a black man, and on the silver screen, you have to be careful of how you are representing me. You have to be careful. I don't give a shit about your little your big $1 billion. You got $1 billion, that's great.
I like,
but
how
at the end of the day,
say big.
Yeah, your big billion. I can't say $1 billion, but $1 billion. At the end of the day, you are representing me. That image is representing me. It's representing all three of us, because we are black men. So the thing is that if you have a demographic of people who do not and are not around black people, and the only representation that they get of black people is what they see on TV.
If the first thing they watch is Tyler Perry, I get it.
Bro, that's terrible. That's terrible, because people who are ignorant to the culture, they think that shit is real. They think that every black man is like that. You know what I'm saying? Or a good deal of black men are like that. And that's the reason why I think you see a lot of crazy shit happening to black men when it comes to, police and things like that. We've been painted as monsters for such a long damn time. Hell, if we start speaking loud to one, they're ready to damn pull a gun out and be ready.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because they don't understand the culture. They're only going by what they're seeing. You know what I'm saying? That's all they're doing. Oh my God, these men are fucking terrible. They've never seen.
It has the same impact as Color Purple did.
Oh, absolutely, bro. I say to people all the time, I didn't start seeing heavy divorce rates in the black units in the black community until 1985. Color Purple, that shit right there did a hell of a job on black people, bro. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, this propaganda machine that they got going on out here is sick.
We gotta congratulate Oprah on that one. That was all Oprah for the color.
And guess what? Billion dollar woman.
Yeah, yeah.
What are you seeing? What are you seeing
Gotta love
here,
it.
Antoine? What are you
Huh?
seeing here, Antoine? What are you seeing here? You know, if you make black people look like a bunch of fucking monkeys, I'm gonna pay you $1 billion fucking dollars. Just
But you
keep
know
that
what?
going.
The fact that we have no problem acting like that monkey kills
Right.
me. And then we
Right,
want to
right.
go. And then we want to go and blame the white man for our asinine decision and choices we choose to do. Right.
Right, right,
And,
right.
and it's
Absolutely.
funny. You know, I could relate to this right now because I'm thinking of, you know, when you watch a horror movie and you see that scary ghost. You notice the white director never puts a black man in that movie. You know why? Because black people know when they see something move on its own, they shouldn't be there. So we won't react like, did you see that?
Right. Right.
So they're not going to put up, because they know black people don't respond to that shit.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So it's always the white one that runs away. Oh, did you see? Did we? And then they'll go deeper into the story. Right? Because they know black people haul their ass out of there saying, no, we know this shit. We live it.
All day. They know that. They know that. They just know that about us, you know.
It's just amazing to me how we structure ourselves in our community, what's left of it. And it's like we have so many great stories out there, but we know because it won't sell and it won't make the kind of money that Medea makes or shit like this, we freaking sell out. We sell out and make this shit. And then you want someone like me that's doing well, does not represent that shit. You want me to co-sign on it. And you want me to not speak against it because I'm the Uncle Tom. God damn it, right now I'm proud to be that boy because I don't want to be connected to that. I want to be the biggest Oreo cookie right fucking now because I don't want you to even associate me with that shit, right? But when somebody calls it out for what it is, especially a light-skinned nigga, oh my God, heaven forbid. And it's not fair. But we you know what, we don't talk about that part, right? We find some way to justify it, that he's making money for black people and he has his own studio and he's $1 billion man and he's employing so many black people. But we miss, it's like, how do you miss the entire picture of what's going on here? There's a commercial, a vacation commercial, and it's funny. I hope Vic has seen this, but I was trying to catch it and I didn't catch it today. About two black women celebrating being on vacation on a beach or in a hotel resort. And both of them, two black women, but one looks like a man and one looks like a woman. What's that selling you? What's that telling you?
Well, you already know what they're selling you.
Listen to what they're saying. We're the manliest of women and we're the womanest of women. Like, we're only two exist like that. Heaven forbid they put a feminine one, real feminine one, and dark skin at that. But I just look at this commercial and I go, I hope people are, I'm surprised people are not talking about this. And she's bald.
But you know what I'm proud of? I'm proud of black women also taking the lead off that video we just saw with Vic. You know, and they're saying, okay, Tyler, we're sick of this shit, man. We're sick of being portrayed as doormats, bro. Like, that's not every black woman. That's not even the majority of black women. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, they're tired of seeing that. They're tired of seeing that representation of themselves because black women are doing great things. You know, as of right now, you know, they're becoming very well educated. They're blowing us out the damn water when it comes to education. Very, very well educated. They are getting in places, in positions that we thought no black people would get before. You know, they're making money. They're doing well for themselves. So at the end of the day, they're getting tired of being portrayed as this little girl, this young lady, or this woman that is a doormat. And that's all she is. And she needs to be saved by some fucking man. You know what I'm saying? And that's you know.
And Kavi, that you see, the thing that kills me the most is, in order to make change come about, black women's got to close the factory, and black men's got to stop supplying the factory. Period.
Right. Okay.
It's got to be. That's the only way to fix this. Do I think it can be fixed? Absolutely fucking not. We already got the passport bros started. That's a done deal. That's over. That ship has sailed. But if you're gonna fix it, we cannot call out black women because we're men, and they ain't gonna ever accept that. You know, and too many people have tried. Sharaha Z had tried, and she's a woman. So,
right, she's a woman. Yeah.
Okay, and look how I think the message to Tyler Perry is more powerful coming from a woman than a black man. Right.
Right.
So they have to start doing this, and they have to stand by what they say, not justify anything in the movie. They have to call it out for what it is. They got to break a few eggs, hurt a few people, and be willing to hurt people and say, hey, you know what? I don't care who I'm hurting. Yes, I might get cancel culture and all that shit, but in order for it to happen, somebody's got to take the hit. And if you take the hit collectively, there's no way one person is going to get abused, because now you have to hit a lot of people. So not only one person is going to shine like that, right? So that's why I will never put myself in that position. I will speak my mind, do what I do, because either way I'm getting paid to do what I do. It has nothing, but I'm never, ever going to justify that shit. I don't care if I'm in a black room, and I don't care who's around. You are not going to get me to sign off on that because of the whole I'm making money, I got the bag. No. You know what? You know what kills me? What was that basketball owner that got? He said, I don't know. He got some and the team was
Sterling.
Yeah, what? Donald Sterling.
I'm saying to myself, okay, this is the chance for us to own a team, not a percentage, sheer ownership of an entire team. And who stepped up? Another white billionaire. And I'm like, God damn, Oprah, God damn, P. Diddy, God damn. Like, you guys couldn't even come together, Mayweather, and say, let's own a team, like be an official owner. Like there's actually a black man sitting at the table, not a percentage, owner. And nobody stood up. And what happened? Same shit. And I'm like, you don't think he's any different? Like, are you serious right now?
Bro. So to explain that, right? So there's a book out. I don't know if you guys have read it. If you haven't, you can probably go on Amazon and get it for like maybe $15 or something like that. But I think that's how much I paid for it. But Black Bourgeoisie.
Speaking of books, make sure you go cop this one.
That's a good chance to put that in there.
Right? When we talk about anybody, goddamn, we talk about my book first, right?
Okay, definitely cop that book.
Let me move that right here. You know what I'm saying? So y'all got a better view, accountable masculinity, just like the channel, just like the motherfucking channel. You know what I'm saying? And for those of you following on YouTube, it's accountable masculinity for a reason.
Right.
Go get the book. Get the book.
Great book. Go ahead and get that book. But to go back to what I was saying, Antoine and Vic, there's a book, like I said, written by Franklin Frazier, I believe, Black Bourgeoisie. So Black Bourgeoisie, that book right there, breaks down why that hasn't happened, Antoine. It breaks down why all those billion-dollar people haven't came together and purchased the team and supported that team. And the reason is because the people that have all the money in the bank, okay, the black people that have all that money in the bank like that, they don't believe that they are capable of running a successful franchise like that, because there's so many moving parts. They don't believe that they're capable. So what you find out in this book that was written in 1957 is that from 1957 to 2020.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. You want me to read a book that was written in 1957 to explain?
Absolutely.
Wait a minute. Wait, I'm just curious. I just want to make sure I'm clear. You want me to read a book in 1957 that was written in 1957 to explain why the powers of black people today don't do it?
Absolutely.
You just lost me right there. I ain't believing that.
No. Don't. You gotta understand, Antoine.
Consideration. You gotta have a baseline.
I ain't having. We can't even come together to do this.
You have to understand. There has always been that type of class.
Oh, please.
There's always been black people that's had that type of money, Antoine. We're not.
I am not falling for that Kunta Kinte shit.
You think we're the first generation that's had this type of fucking wealth?
We don't do it because we can't come together. We don't do it because we can't come together and do it.
Bro.
No, we don't do it because we're the same ones you put in a room and someone's about to get shot.
When you read the psychology of it, bro.
We always have some shit.
What it is explaining is it explaining inferiority complex. That is what it's explaining. That's all it's explaining, and it explains it in a very well detailed book. And you sit here and you're like, okay, the same shit that black people were doing in 1957 is the same shit we're doing in 2024. The same exact shit. Ain't nothing changed.
Hey, also
ain't nothing changed.
To add on to what you're saying right there, Kavi, there's plenty of documented history between like prolific writers like W.E.B. Du Bois.
Get your mic right, bro. Get your mic right. Yeah.
Like W.E.B. Du Bois
Yeah.
and a whole lot of other like philanthropists that were black during that time. They didn't get along. You know what I'm saying? They historically have had odds at what black people needed to do together. So the baseline of what you're saying, I understand exactly why you're bringing that up, because we've always been in conflict with each other historically.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's always been a class separation. The people that's in poverty hate the black people that got above the poverty, and then that puts us on different sides. That we have our own classism within our own culture. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And which is why it's been so effective, because all Antoine sees, because he's from Trinidad, is that black people can't come together. The people that we need to work together, that need to facilitate it, are either obtuse to it for whatever reason because of class and poverty. And there's always going to be people that say we can't do it. And there's always going to be some people that say we can do it if we do it this way. And then there's always going to be odds. That's why, like, my content is focused on breaking down who's trying to solve the problem.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then the people that's trying to solve the problem, what's the obstacle that's keeping them from solving the problem? You know, because is it a lack of knowledge? Is it a lack of access? What is it? It's not just that we don't want to see each other be successful. There's a psychology that's definitely built into people that don't want to see other people succeed and progress, because we cannibalize each other for a market different reasons. So I did the research on this to figure out, well, who's most likely to be the ones that sabotage us from within, because people don't have to come from outside to sabotage us. We do it to ourselves.
Right.
And the people that do it to us fit a certain behavior, which is what my content is about. It's the undisciplined mindset of people, which is a psychology, because it falls in line with a certain behavior. So the people that that are highlighted by Tyler Perry's scripts and his films and his depictions, you see it clear. You got the undisciplined people, you know what I'm saying, that's causing the most friction.
Right.
And then you got the disciplined people in the movie that's trying to solve the problem. And there's one person that makes up 20% of the issues that causes 80% of the problems. You know what I'm saying? It's the loud minority, like my brother Chris from across the table. Shout out for Chris from across the table. That always highlights it's the loud minority that causes the most friction, and it kills the confidence of people that want to solve the problem. You know what I'm saying? We see our own liability in our own situations, and we see how easily moved off of the goalposts that we actually are, and we're fragile when it comes to that. And I think that that's why we have to move in silence a lot more. We have to move with intention, and we need to tell people after the fact, after it's been accomplished. We need to tell them when it's too late, that it's already been done, instead of advertising that we're about to do it. So this podcast is me planting my flag and doing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm showing it where we can highlight the different perspectives, the different obstacles, and be real about it. Just like Antoine wants to be real about it, because everything he's saying is true too. But we gotta pin those things that are vulnerable, that hold us up. But we need to attribute that to the people that fit the behavior, not the ones that's trying to solve the problems just so we can discourage it. Because at that point, it's not even worth it. But it's worth it to the people that care about a solution. It's not worth it to the people that don't care about a solution.
Absolutely, absolutely. And even building on, you know, this book that
let me let Antoine talk. Let me let Antoine.
Okay, all right, go ahead, brother.
And that's exactly why I'm saying the way you guys are describing this is that we could never get ahead, because this will always be a fucking issue. And I'm saying there ain't no issue anymore. We just choose to bring it up every fucking time something happened. We just choose to bring up the race card, choose to bring up the victimhood mentality. It ain't there no more. There's a lot of people like me out there. There's a lot of good black people doing well. There's a lot of good, but we don't praise those. We fucking operate and make money off the dysfunction. And I'm like sick of it. And I'm not going to use the race card. I'm not going to use the victimhood mentality. I'm going to use this platform I'm on right now to call out the shit and give you a solution. The solution is what I told Kavi. Black women need to close the factory. Black men need to stop supplying the factory. That's it. And you know how you come together? By creating nuclear families. You know how you come together? The baby mamas need to understand they don't have the options they have. So what they have to do is bond with what they're capable of bonding with, building with what they're capable of building with. That's what they have to do. They have to accept where they fall on the totem pole. All right? And not every man makes 100K.
What rule is the baby mama situation that you're describing right there? What rule does that fit underneath, Antoine?
As far as what?
Accountable masculinity.
Accountable masculinity. You know what rule is? Close the factory.
What rule is that? No. What rule is it?
In the accountable masculinity?
Yeah, 5 rules. Which one is
you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I can't remember the 5.
Sexual discipline. You
okay,
missed
sexual discipline. Let's start with that.
I'm you a lob. Sexual discipline is
Sexual
the reason
discipline.
why where we are.
Sexual discipline. They need to think with their other head. That's one.
Kavi, this is
with the other head.
Remember what we started with this conversation, Kavi? Like just in you and I having dialogue on multiple videos that we've done, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I keep going back to it. The problem is how we are reproducing internally. And this video that led this whole thing, what did you have? What was the format of the problem? A mother raising sons without a man around, right? And
That's
she
right.
raised hyena-led, matriarchal, you know what I'm saying, format of a family. And then you get Ma Barker and the gun boys, you know what I'm saying, pretty much. And that is what I've been highlighting. You can't regulate men with women in the lead. You can't. This is what you get. You get this mindset that is destructive. It is dangerous. This is the mindset that is bred that makes women choose the bear. But what I want to highlight is what is the mindset of the women that these men are attracted to, or the men that they are attracted to. And Megan Good, you know, like she was raised a certain type of way in this movie, and her dad told her, "Hey, I didn't raise you like that. I raised you in love. I showed you how a woman was supposed to be treated based on the way I treated your mother." And it goes back in line when we talked about before, when I gave you that analogy about if your son meets a woman that he wants to be with, but she's been raised by 4 generations of women that weren't able to keep a man, the likelihood of your son being successful in that marriage is low. You know what I'm saying? Without conflict, rather, right? Because marriage has its own conflicts anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because men and women think differently. The sexual discipline factor is important. The situation that Benji ended up in was based on sexual discipline. You know what I'm saying? Like he picked the right time to do what he wanted to do, but the risk that came with it, you know, the collateral damage that came with it, because of the man that Dallas was, and he's always lurking in the background. There's a high degree of risk that still pivots off the choices that men make sexually with a certain type of woman. You know what I'm saying? There's inherent risk that comes along with the choices that men choose when they pick a certain type of woman, which goes back to his vetting process also. Regardless of it, he already had knowledge of what type of family that dude came from. He knew that she had been with him for 16, 17 years, and he still chose, you know what I'm saying, to take that risk, you know? And even then, the father was only able to protect his daughter so much, and he ended up getting shot and beat up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he did.
There's a lot of things that
movie sounds so horrible, dude. Oh my god, that movie sounds so freaking horrible, bro. I'm getting goosebumps just listening to this shit.
And then think about the other residuals. I'm talking about second and third order effects of your children choosing the wrong person. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because one thing we hadn't talked about is Dallas accosted the preachers accosted Ava's mama in the store.
Yep.
He had just drove back from Atlanta after he ran up there to go put security cameras on his daughter's house, right?
Right.
And then he drove and left her with shotguns to protect herself and all of that, right? And he gets a phone call that Dallas done, you know what I'm saying, basically roughed up his wife in the grocery store.
Yep.
And he drives down there to go confront Dallas and you know what I'm saying, and Dallas in general, but he didn't count on the rest of the family showing up, and then he gets shot in the leg. You know what I'm saying? So your choices about sexual discipline can put your families in a disadvantaged, harmful position, all because you won't either A, stand up for yourself, or you're going against the grain to try to be Juliet or Romeo, depending on what your, you know what I'm saying, what your role is in the situation. Because it's always a Romeo. And always
check this out. You speak of some facts on that, because out of one bad situation and one bad pick in a bad man, she picked a bad man, right?
Put the whole family in jeopardy.
You put the whole family in jeopardy. You put your mama in jeopardy. You put
Almost
your
the entire
daddy in
bloodline.
jeopardy. You put Dallas in jeopardy. You put Benji in jeopardy. Hell, you put the other brothers in jeopardy, because the dad came there with a handgun
You should have shot him
and
on
a
top.
12 gauge. You know what I'm saying? So
if you're gonna pull up on somebody's property, he should have shot him.
all them people could have died off of one bad pick in a man. All them people could have died. That's crazy.
That's what I want to make clear, right?
That's how important sexual discipline is. That's what I'm talking about. The
But
daughter.
Vic, I want to be clear on this, right? I want to be very clear on this. I'm not blaming only the women. I want to be clear. The men want to be leaders. You should not be leading with your dick. You got to be leading with the proper head. And these are the men that actually tarnish the women. They may not know better, but they'll still take advantage of them. I'm talking about those men too. You know, that's the aspect I want to be clear. I'm not only blaming the women because they ain't doing it by themselves.
No,
right?
You absolutely right, Antoine.
They ain't doing it by themselves. And I know men see these vulnerable women that are easy targets, and they put that swag on them. I'm blaming those men too, because those men are making more black men look bad. Those men are the ones that are getting highlighted, and I blame them too.
So you're right on that, Antoine. And this is why I'm highlighting the man side. Is that what I want to do? Highlight the man side by warning the women about the men that they give their time and energy to. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you come from a family that's rooted in love, you're gonna try to use that same love that you was raised with, and you're gonna try to go use that to fix men. Men have to fix themselves.
Exactly.
Don't go get none of these broken men that put their mother ahead of you. Don't go do that.
Whoa. When you say put their mother, is their father in the house? Is their father in the house?
I'm talking about if they raised by just their mother.
Oh, okay.
Don't get a man that's raised by his mother that puts his mother ahead of you.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because when you get married, like, if you're the man in the marriage, you come before her father. If you're the woman in the marriage, the wife comes before the mother.
Absolutely.
And
okay.
Yeah, it has to. But Dallas put his mother in front of everybody.
Yeah, he did.
And that's why the situation ended up the way that it ended up. And you already, the movie starts off with one of the sons already in the casket. And you see the control she had over them. They grabbed, what kind of fear,
control?
What kind of fear has she instilled in them to go make them grab a dead brother out of the casket and drag him? You think about that. Most people at a funeral, they're just like, it's touchy, you know what I'm saying? But he out of there, I can't grab him, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I ain't grabbing no dead body. That's
what I'm saying. So think about the psychological impact that she had to have on those boys' life when she said, "Get him out of there."
I can't believe we're talking about this movie.
So Vic, what you just said when she said, "Get him out of there," when she said that the first time, "Get him out of there," and then she comes back and when she says, "Get him out of there,"
yeah,
could you relate to that? I can relate to that.
I can't personally relate to it.
I can relate to that. I've heard a mother talk to her son like
that. Let me say it like this. I've witnessed men and women who have been abused by their mothers to a degree where I've witnessed it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm thankful my mama ain't like that. I'm thankful
that on so many levels, boy.
Yeah, like, because the format of the household empowers the woman differently. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
like we talked about patience, and remember we was talking about who's more patient, you know what I'm saying, and who's less patient.
Right.
But we're patient for different reasons, right?
Absolutely. Right.
Because we got different obligations, different roles in a patriarchal format of a family. But in a matriarchal format of a family, patience is at a premium. You know what I'm saying? It ain't regular. You know what I'm saying? It's different, and it's something that we don't understand. So I didn't see my dad getting disrespected, you know what I'm saying, by my mom.
Mhm.
I didn't witness, what people like Little Scrappy. Like you see them videos, a Little Scrappy talking to Mama D, talking about how, he was raised in a whorehouse and all this stuff.
Yeah, he went through a whole lot of
He
shit.
went
Right.
through a whole lot. I can't relate to that. You know what I'm
No.
saying? So, and my mom wouldn't have us around people that ran their households that way. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because she knew how to put us in situations that was safe for us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And most often times she was like, "Nah, you ain't going over there," and it wasn't for me to understand at that time. But when
Mhm.
you see these depictions of these behaviors and the boys that have been traumatized by mothers like that, yeah, they're gonna go out and replicate that abuse in their relationships. This is why I be telling women that if you're interested in a man, and if he was raised without his father, ask him has he been to therapy. Ask him, you know what I'm saying, how he has dealt with being raised without men and respecting men, because his respect for men is gonna be different. A lot of those guys are competitive. You know what I'm saying? I get inboxes all the time from women that have from men that send me screenshots of women that are raising their sons or basically raising bullies.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So there's a format. The format of that household produces a certain type of behavior, because if we were all raised by musical talented parents, we would likely play music. We would
Mhm.
likely be creative. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But if you raised in a combative household, your behavior outside is going to define that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree. It all begins at home, 100%.
That's why the sexual discipline piece is so important. That's the one thing that we can't overlook. We talking about families, right? Like Antoine says, the seat of power in the community is the nuclear family. But you
Yep.
can't raise a family without choosing and vetting properly, right? And if you don't do
Mhm.
that, you get a Tyler Perry movie. That's just the bottom line.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you do. That's just a fact,
Who you give your
unfortunately.
body to is who you give your power to.
Right. Right. Right.
That's
Right.
that's how women should be thinking.
They should be thinking that way.
They
You know
should
what
be
I'm saying?
thinking that way. I
Yeah.
would even like, I don't understand where the disconnect comes. Like, it's just unbelievable to me, and it's sad because. And then I hate being reinforced by the shit that's put out, man. It's like, really, man. Nah,
It hurts
now
a
I
little
gotta
bit.
justify this shit. Like, I really gotta justify this shit. Fuck. I'm tired, man. First we got away from the slavery movies, and I'm like, thank God. Now I gotta justify this shit. I'm like, give me a break, man. This is ridiculous. And I can't.
Yeah.
I'm so happy you showed me that TikTok video of women actually speaking out about it. Like, there's some relief there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? There's some relief. Like, okay, maybe a movement has started that people are gonna start saying, listen, we got to start making content that highlights the good we do, because there's a lot of good stories out there. And I'm not
Yeah.
talking about the railroad shit. I'm not talking about the Kunta Kinte shit. I'm talking about we have contributed a lot of great stories out there, and we have contributed a lot to society. And those are the things that should be highlighted. We should be talking about the billionaires of today, the rise and the power of the money that we've made. I mean, I just don't get why why are we stuck on this shit? Why? Just somebody explain to me why we're
It's
stuck.
a so
And don't
it's
tell me 1957.
Hey,
okay. And I won't tell you that. I won't tell you
Okay.
that. I'll go into it a little bit. Okay, so what we do, unfortunately, I think, as a culture, and I talked about this to Vic. I said that we are a culture of people who don't appreciate innovation. We don't appreciate innovation. We don't want to try different things. Have you ever said to a group of black people, "Hey, you guys want to go tubing today on the river?" And somebody says, "Black people don't do that." You ever heard that before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, you've heard that plenty of times. Or you say, "Hey, let's go rock climbing today," and somebody says, "Black people don't do that."
Like
you know,
swimming in the
or
beach, like swimming in
right.
the swimming in the ocean.
Exactly. People say black people don't do that, you know. So we're stuck in this bubble, unfortunately. And the thing is when it comes to our entertainment and how we entertain ourselves, I want you to realize what the most successful genres of movies are for black people. They're always drama and crime.
Yeah.
Drama, crime written.
I
So
know.
you look at your series, Power. What is that all about?
I know.
All about crime. All about crime. You look at The
Sicko.
Shy. What is The
More
Shy
sexual
all
is-
about? You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It's all about crime, pretty much. You look at Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, you know, Above the Rim,
Bad Girls.
Bad Girls. You look at all these
Or
different
the new
things,
one,
man.
Queens. Or the new
Right,
one,
right.
Queens.
And so, but when you look at a movie that's been put out, like you said, you know, that gives a positive outlook on black people, they don't do so well in the movies. You know what I'm saying? They don't do so well in the movies. Let's even take it to music. You know, if you look at Common, you look at Jay-Z. Jay-Z said it himself. He said, truthfully, I want to rhyme like common sense, but I did 5 mil. I ain't rhyming like common sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So basically what he's saying is he's saying
They
truthfully,
don't pay enough.
yeah, it don't pay enough to be conscious. That's basically what Jay-Z is saying. So the thing is that I'm with you on this, Antoine. I'm with you on this. We, black people, we have to choose to spend money on positive things. We shouldn't make Tyler Perry a billionaire. We should make Spike Lee a billionaire.
Right?
You feel what I'm saying? We should make Spike Lee a billionaire. He should be getting all of our money. But unfortunately, black people, we don't see it like that. We don't want to see another Malcolm X. We don't want to see those brilliant movies that he came out with. We don't want to see that. We want to see Baby Boy. Baby Boy is probably one of the most liked black movies of all time. It's probably like one of the, and look at the constant drama that's in Baby Boy, right?
On
So
BET, which ain't even owned by black people.
Viacom, right? Owned by Viacom. And at the end of the day, if you saw the BET Awards, I don't know if you guys saw that. This is kind of getting off subject, but if you saw the BET Award, oh my God, that was the worst, most ratchet shit I've ever seen in my damn life, man.
That's exactly why I don't watch that shit. I don't know.
We are right. We are no longer glorifying our greatness. We're not doing it anymore. We're glorifying our ratchetness. That's what we're doing. So you're seeing what you're seeing out here on these streets. You're seeing that. You're seeing these men. You're seeing these young boys and young girls going upside each other's heads all the time. You're seeing them going. You're seeing girls now carrying blickies, bro. They got guns and they tight ass shorts and shit, pointing them motherfuckers and shooting people. You're seeing little girls do that shit now.
Goodness, man.
It's on another damn level. Like here where I'm from. Oh my God, these kids is dying left and right, bro. It's crazy shit, bro.
Feminism is thug life for women.
Yep. Yep.
Because
okay.
Let me say that again. Let me get the screen this time. Feminism is thug life for women.
That's a shirt right there.
Yep. Because it gives them the leverage, the free reign, it removes the accountability to do whatever and say whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's why, like the BET Awards. Think about that. When you just brought that up. The BET Awards was that level of feminism on full display. And you see what they do when they get the spotlight for the undisciplined women. You know what I'm saying? The other part of everything that you highlighted is about, like you said, what we're glorifying. And I'm focused on the solution part of it. And this is what happens when you got too many low-level learners reproducing with low-level learners. And then this is the outcome. I don't care how it sounds, but it's the truth. You can't expect Einstein's, you know what I'm saying, to come out of a culture that praises the most undisciplined behavior and
Very true.
glorifies the worst. You can't get leaders out of that group of people.
Very true.
I mean, well, I'm not gonna say that. You're gonna have some exceptions, but if you perform undisciplined acts 80% of the time, you can't look for, you know what I'm saying, the best quality of person that comes out of that every time. You know what I'm saying? This is why discipline is it's only two mindsets, either discipline or undisciplined. If you live an undisciplined life, you're gonna attract undisciplined people. And by discipline, I mean you need to have control over your emotions. You need to have more patience. You need to be more reserved about who you give your time and attention to. And the only reason that I know this is because I've been on both sides of everything that we're discussing. All of us have to some degree, you know what I'm saying, in our own individual journey. You know, I keep stressing the point. We need to define the behavior. If you don't fit the behavior, I get it. You can't relate to it. That's cool, but we're witnessing it, and we're still being impacted by it, whether you believe it or not. Just like what you said earlier, you know what I'm saying? They misrepresent you, and you take offense to that, and as you should, because nothing changes until people get offended.
Right.
You can't pretend it's not a factor. I'm not saying that it's not a factor. You know what I'm saying? But like, you have to choose the disciplined decision if you want healthier outcomes. That's just it. If you want to get past anything that is a burden to you, that self-inflicted issues is a lack of discipline. Sabotage is a lack of discipline. Right or wrong is making a disciplined or undisciplined decision. Holy or unholy, whatever terminology makes sense for you to apply to your present situation in your own individual vetting process. But you can't help people that won't invest in fixing themselves. So that's why I want to leave it tonight before we get off of here. And you know, I greatly appreciate this conversation, gents. Next week is going to be interesting because we're going to start breaking these movies down and start reverse engineering what we've been socialized with, these narratives, these things that we have been just seen as just great entertainment, but there are lessons packed into these things. No different than any book that you can read, no different than any song that you get, you know, affirmations out of. It's the same stuff, man. We are participating in our own allegory. You know what I'm saying? So we have to get the narrative that makes sense to us, and I hope it's the discipline narrative.
All right.
So with that being said, I appreciate everybody for being on the show tonight. And I think I'm gonna do the outro tonight. You know what I'm saying? It's been a minute since I did the outro because it was such a great show. You know what I'm saying? Kavi, I appreciate you being here.
That'd be great seeing you again, man.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Nice seeing you, brother. Always a great discussion, man. Always a great discussion. You can be up to my ass sometimes, man, but I come back.
I ain't letting you get away. No, you're good at defending yourself. I'll give you that, but I ain't letting you get away.
Make sure you subscribe on all platforms and hit the like button and follow. Please leave your feedback in the comments. Make sure you hit up the super chat, leave a donation to support the platform. Yo chick make you mad, my chick make me a sandwich. Yo chick make you mad, my chick make me a sandwich. Go cop the shirt, visit the merch store, shop with Accountable Masculinity, and support